we're not exactly experts at lip reading. We can to some degree. However, we can only catch a little bit. We can't depend on it completely, but it can help to pick out some words and kind of summarize. But it's not something that we can use to be um, on its own. I'll give you an example. I'm going to pronounce two different words and see if you can catch them. The first one's this. This is the second one. Now, what do you think I said on the first one? Some person said 10. Some person said test. Some person said text. See, there's all kinds of different words that everybody's coming up with when I only said one word. Some person said sex, another person said sex. Some person said 6. The first word, I said 6, and the second word, I said sex. See, so just on that practice alone, you can see that how it can be very difficult to be an expert to use lip reading solely on its own. However, most of the hearing world still believes that all deaf people can lip read proficiently. That's not the case. Um, in some of my experiences, I've had people that I've had to lip read, and for example, one time I was at a store and I thought somebody said 50. So I went back out to my car and came back in and with 50, and yet it was actually supposed to be 15. So there are times when it can be difficult for us as well. Moving forward to our next question, how many people think that anybody that knows sign language can become a skilled interpreter? How many people think it's true? How many think it's false? Okay, there are some for both, some for both. Well, they really can't. Just because somebody knows sign language doesn't mean that they can interpret. You have some students that learn just the very basics of sign language, and that's all they have. You have other students that have learned the basics and they've persisted with it, and they've learned more in depth of the language and the culture, and they understand how to read body language, facial expressions, understand deaf culture, and much more. So those ones could be proficient at interpreting, but not everybody that. But it's not the case that anybody that knows sign language can be an interpreter. So some of the students that have gone through an ITP, an interpreter training program, those ones would be more proficient at interpreting, but many students don't go that far.